Okay, have you worked out what part of the Bible we're going to be looking at? I think you will have. The book of Psalms. And this book was like the Bible's songbook or its poetry book. So what is it like? What is it all about? Well, I'm going to tell you a few things about the book of Psalms. First of all, it's not a storybook. It doesn't tell you about someone being born and then all the things they did, how they lived, and then them dying. And it's not a letter either, with a beginning, with an introduction, and then a middle and an end. It's a songbook. So it's full of lots and lots of different kinds of songs. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually have the same tunes that they had back in the day when they were written. But we do have the words. That's what we've got. That's what the book of Psalms is. And it's written by loads of different people at different times. So they weren't all written at once, and they certainly weren't all written by the same person. Some were written by a king, or a shepherd, or prophet, or guys who were professional musicians. Lots of different ones. And there's lots of different feelings in there. Kind of like, if you're listening to the radio, there might be a really happy song that makes you want to dance. And then a really sad song. Maybe a song about being lonely. And then maybe after that, there's a song that's really exciting and gets you all excited. Well, it's the same with the Psalms. There's so many different kinds in there. So many different feelings. And also, there are different lengths. Some of them are really short, and some of them are really long. The shortest one is actually the shortest chapter in the whole Bible. It's the same length as the poem I said before, the funny old man had a habit one. That's Psalm 117. And the longest chapter in the whole Bible is just next door to it. And it's really long. That's Psalm 119. Do you know, it's the same length as me saying that funny old man had a habit poem 70 times. Also, the Psalms are talking to different people. So if we were to read them out, if we were to say them, who would we be talking to? Well, some of them, they're talking to God, so it'd be like praying. Some of them are talking to other people, a bit like a sermon, or maybe even when you talk to your friends. And get this, some of them are even talking to ourselves. Do you ever talk to yourself? If you do, there's some Psalms for you. And the Psalms paint a lot of pictures. Not real pictures with like brush and paint on paper, but pictures in your mind, up here. So instead of saying that someone is really strong and healthy, let's paint a picture. Maybe it'll help us to remember what's being said and give a better understanding of it. So what could we say for that one? What picture could we make? Well, I want you to close your eyes and think of a tree. Now the tree is planted close to a river and it's got lots of nice leaves. And even they're starting to grow some fruit. Can you picture it? It's a big, strong tree. Well, that's a picture one of the Psalms uses for someone who is solid and strong. They're a bit like a tree, planted by streams of water, bearing fruit. Okay, that's one picture. How about this one? Imagine somebody who's doing things that, that aren't worthwhile, that aren't going to last, not good things. All right, another picture for that. Picture yourself standing outside, and it's really windy, like really windy. Trees are swaying and your hair is flapping about and clouds are rushing by. And you pick up in your hand a handful of dust. You've got it tight in there. And then you throw it in the air as high as you can. What happens to it? The wind catches it and it disappears. That's what the Bible, one of the Psalms, says about people who are doing things that aren't worthwhile, things that aren't going to last. And the Psalms have got hundreds of word pictures just like that to help us remember and to help us understand what they're saying. Okay, there's loads more we could say about the whole book of the Psalms. But it is the song book of the Bible, and we're going to be learning more about it in the coming weeks. But where should we start? If you've got a storybook, you can start right at the beginning. But if you've got a bunch of songs, you could actually listen to them in any order, couldn't you? Yeah, absolutely, you could. And you can read the Psalms in any order you want. One here, one there. But still, wouldn't it be helpful if there was some kind of introduction? Something to give us an idea of what the whole book of the Psalms is about. Do you know, I think there might be something. Let's sing another song, and then we can talk a little bit more about it.